Okay, we are visiting the Overloon War Museum, and there is a T-34 tank here, and we'll be inside the museum shortly. Inside the Overloon War Museum, and we just had to fit this in our schedule, so we have about an hour and 15 minutes, and the guy said this museum takes about 3 to 4 hours, but we're gonna do the quick walkthrough. But absolutely a bigger museum than I was thinking it would be. So we'll just go ahead and hit the highlights. All right, this is a cool bicycle display. They show how they mounted various items on bicycles. So you got the Panzer Shrek, Panzerfaust. Is that? Oh yeah, that's a tubeless tire. Yes, this makes total sense. And then you've got the MP44. How amazing! And then you've got a landmine. Take a look, man.
Yeah.
Actually, that looks like an anti-tank mine. But MP44 mounted on the bike in a carry holder. MG42.
Which probably goes with the one with the fins and buttstock and stuff like that.
Yeah. So that's very cool. And I wish the lighting was better. But yep, you've got the drums on the back. Yep. And then the buttstock. Actually, that buttstock looks like MG34.
That was missing off.
Yeah, no, yep. And you've got the, it's a dust cap. Anyway, that's a cap for the, you don't see them very often, but that's actually a cap that they had to keep dirt, debris out. And then the, that looks like an MG34 tripod, the way it mounts. Matter of fact, that is an MG34 tripod. Spare barrel. And then you've got, look at that, man. So you got the spare barrel. And then you've got a tin of 8mm. Yeah, belted ammo. And look at that mortar. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. So you've got a mortar, and then you can see the base plate. But you know what stands to reason, because they use bicycles and horses. They use a crazy amount of bicycles. And then you've got the grenades. Interesting. That's very cool. Huh. And it looks like Armor's, yeah, it looks like Armor's box. Yeah, first aid, but then that's the size and design of a belted box, MG42, MG34. Got crutches, medicine, of course. You know, I look at the studs on the boots. I just don't know how comfortable that would have been walking many, many miles. And then a K98. And you actually have a bicycle towing the trailer. And another K98. And blankets And we've seen like fur. It's not sure if that's part of a medical kit. Don't know, but we've seen that a couple of other times. Oh, and then up here, MP40. MP40 mounted on a bicycle. And you've got, you know, the swastika. Hey, take a look, man. You've got a swastika there. How weird is that? And then you got the MP40 mounted. Man, that would just rattle all over the grip. Obviously, they didn't care about finish and dings and dents. I gotta say, that is an excellent display. Excellent.
Unique.
Yeah. All right, we just came into the second room and have to say we were not expecting all of these vehicles. Like, incredible. And this turret is actually off of its mount. Hey, Edward, this turret is knocked off its mount. They obviously left it that way. And a Panther. Any English?
Yep.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna come back and read that here in a second. Yeah, had no idea this museum was this big. I read the online reviews and I didn't read about this stuff. Amazing amount of vehicles. Wow. Okay, the placard, we just read it, that this tank was struck by several direct hits which ended up killing the crew, and their graves can be found at the Henry Chapelle Cemetery in Belgium. And the Panther, of course. It was very cool seeing the one in Hooflays, but to see one really, I mean, it's nicely restored. Yeah, it's missing a wheel back here, but they've done a nice job with it. MG34 doesn't look like, it's not the tanker one, it looks infantry, but who knows, maybe they used infantry MG34s. You got the crank start to crank them. Yeah. Yeah, really nice example of the Panther. It's a World War I Renault tank. Yep, introduced in 1917.
It was the first tank to actually integrate coaxial turret.
Really?
Yeah.
And then down here we've got looks like a German, like, midget submarine.
Really exciting.
It's incredible condition. I mean, it doesn't look reproduction. So what'd you find out?
There were 324 of these produced, and they're one-man midget submarines.
So one man, and they produced 300 plus submarines.
And 50 to 60% of the people lost their lives using these things.
God, who would volunteer for that thing? Oh my God. Wow. This is just really an expansive display showing a Lancaster, so that's what it looks like. But then it's in the shape with all of its wreckage from a crash. Surprisingly, it would take up that much room for this. But
And really, the way they displayed it would be virtually the only way you could give it
yeah,
the depth that it would need.
yep.
So it really conveys the size.
Yeah. That's pretty wild. All right, just panning. We're in the vehicle section. And is that a Yag Panther?
Doesn't say anywhere.
Yeah, it doesn't say. We didn't see it, but I believe it is.
Probably have an MG34 on something.
Yep. Yeah. You can tell that was found rusted. That's a relic. Still very cool. Very cool. You can see the deep rust on it. So that was found in the ground at some point. And we find that a lot of these tanks, they actually, there you can see, maybe not, you can actually see where it's being held up. So the tank is not resting on a suspension. So it's really resting on support steel. And a shot of that tank that was knocked out and the crew was killed. And we'll just pan through a bunch of artillery pieces, anti-tank. I guess all of these would be anti-tank guns. Got a mortar back there. Really incredible displays. Just the quantity, the quality, and the attention to detail. Nicely done. And this here is a 25-pounder. It looks like self-propelled, tracked. Right up there. Actually, there's like 2 Bren gun carriers here. Edward, this one's called the Windsor Carrier. Windsor Carrier, Ford Canada.
My dad said they were actually made.
Yeah, Windsor Carrier, Ford Canada. Developed a tractor for trailers and small anti-tank guns like 6-pounder guns based on the more common but smaller Universal Carrier. You can easily spot the difference. The Windsor Carriers have 4 bogie wheels, where the Universal Carrier has only about 3. About 5,000 Windsor Carriers were made, of which only a handful still exist today. So yeah, so obviously, if it's a Ford Canada, Windsor Carrier, it was made at Ford in Windsor. So, never even heard of it, man. That is wild. Never even heard of it. Interesting machine gun down there. If I had to guess, it's a Hotchkiss, but I'm truly guessing. Or a Hotchkiss design. But, and this is a Universal Carrier, and also known as the Bren gun carrier. And to give you an idea on the size, try to get a better idea on size here. So you've got the Bren gun carrier, and then you've got the Windsor Carrier. So it's noticeably bigger. Noticeably. So what is this?
Conger. It's towed into place. It's actually to be able to blow explosives over a minefield. They were so ineffective and so dangerous to use that they never used them, and this is the only one left. So this would be towed behind a Bren gun carrier or a tank, and then it shoots,
A bunch of like rockets,
No, it's
or a rocket that probably brings explosives.
flexible hose with explosives.
Wow.
It's one 5-inch rocket with flexible hose.
Yeah, never heard of that. But then again, it wasn't used, so.
Yeah. And after a major accident and wherever, it was never used again.
Yeah. Poor guy. Or crew.
Dude, we got a half hour left.
Couple of Bren guns. All right, we've got a half hour left, so we're just gonna like really cruise through this museum. Okay, and a replica, a model of the railgun. Yeah, just like all the, I guess, fuses.
Yeah.
So you've got all these rounds here. All shells, mortars. Incredible collection.
What did they sharp point on that one? Whatever that was. On the answer.
Yeah,
Faust.
looks like some other variations of the Panzerfaust. Yeah. Man, they've got an extensive collection here. Wow.
When you start seeing things that you didn't know existed.
Yeah. And we've been to several museums already that were excellent. With the amount of shells. We got cutaways. Cutaway bombs.
They had these things in War II on the bridge.
Yep. Yep, so here's a tank that lays down the bridge. Wow, amazing. So what's the span of bridge?
It's 30, or sorry, it's 10 meters, so 30 feet.
Not bad for like an immediate foldable bridge.
And it's unscrewed. That is the mechanism that it winds up and winds down, and it takes 2.5 minutes to deploy.
Wow, that is fast.
Yep, it supports 30 tons.
Wow. So easily light tanks can go
Yeah.
across that.
There's used in Burma.
Really? Oh, there's a Sten gun on the in that Bren carrier too. Next to the Bren. I'll just leave the camera rolling just as we're walking.
The B-25, that's a Mitchell. The B-25 right there.
Is it? Okay. So B-25 Mitchell, Edward was saying. I'm really not very good with airplanes. Or tanks, or really a lot of stuff.